All right, here we go. Project Newman. We're talking about the multiple systems in your body that will affect how good you feel. That's what you're really here for, isn't it? You just want to feel like a man. You want to have your energy back. You want to have your brain back. You got brain fog right now. You start feeling sick. You start having sleep issues. You start having pain in your body. Everything, everything can be very frustrating. Your mood is going down. Your sexuality isn't feeling right. You start having sexual problems, social problems, irritability, anger, substance abuse. God forbid you're feeling suicidal and you don't know why. Maybe you've been feeling like this for months, years, and maybe you've researched a couple things, but you haven't found what really helps. I want to tell you, I've had the same problem. And a lot of times, it's not as simple as just fixing one thing. Sometimes you have to look into many different areas of your health, many different body systems working together that could be causing dysfunctions in multiple areas of your body. That's what I want to talk about today. I'm not going to go too much into the detail, but I want to give you an overview of the things that you can focus on so that you can fix these mysterious problems with your body that you might not have ever thought about. This is health basics, but common sense isn't always common practice, even in the medical professional community. So think about these systems if you're having any of those problems that we just talked about, including if you start feeling fat, low energy, low muscle, you don't want to go to the gym, you just start feeling sick. All of these are very intentionally mentioned. This is a constellation of symptoms that can be coming from dysfunction in these systems. So, did you know that low testosterone can cause all those problems? If you're toxic and you haven't detoxed for a while, it can cause all those problems. If you have too much mental and social stress, it can cause all those problems. And guys, all of these are related to each other. So mental stress is related to testosterone and vice versa. Toxicity could be causing your mental stress and vice versa. I want you to realize the interconnection between all of these, okay? Sleep affects all of these. Your digestion affects all of these. If you're malnourished, it affects all of these. If you have gut flora problems, it affects all of these. Immune system health affects all of these, and your sexual health, I would say, it's impacted by all of them. It doesn't directly influence all of them, but there's a relationship there. So that's what I want to talk about here is the interrelationship between all of these. If you focus on getting healthy in all of these areas, a lot of these symptoms will just clear up. Because get this, dysfunction in any one of those areas can cause a lot of these same symptoms. So dysfunction in any of those body systems causes the same feelings. It's really weird, isn't it? It's like a constellation. They're all related, right? And I've had all of these issues. So what you might feel like, chronic fatigue, brain fog, mood disorders, pain and inflammation, you're getting fat, less muscle, sleep issues, you start feeling sick and weak, sexual issues, social problems, bad relationships, substances, you start using substances, and the substances cause ill health too. It's a vicious circle, and God forbid you're feeling suicide. And helpless and hopeless. So pretty heavy, pretty bad stuff. I mean, that's pretty much like hell. And if you're living in hell, it could be because any of these systems are out of whack. And I've felt what it's like to have all of these out of whack. Pretty much suffered with every single one of these over the past 7-8 years. I'm only 31 right now. And it's not always just when you get old that you start having problems like this. So I know your pain. So let's go through each of these lightly. I'm going to have a playlist where you can learn about each one of these body systems in detail, what to do. I'm going to break it all down. So this video, I just want to get you thinking about, whoa, maybe my testosterone is the source of my mental distress, my lack of focus. Like, who would have thought that my digestion is off because of my testosterone? Who would have thought sleep is affecting my testosterone? Did you ever think? I just want you to think. I just want you to even just get the possibility that your testosterone levels can be low and that's impacting your sexual health. Maybe you can't get erection because you have low testosterone. Maybe you don't have any libido because you have low testosterone. Maybe you got a detox. Maybe you have too much estrogen in your system, too much plastics, too much heavy metal, too many chemicals, too many pesticides. Testosterone affects pretty much every system in your body. and look at all the things that it impacts: energy, focus, mood, your dopamine levels, your motivation, cortisol, sleep, insulin sensitivity, glucose tolerance, your immunity, your social behavior, your sexual health. I mean, the fact that you feel really shy and inferior and submissive in social situations could be because you have low testosterone. Did you know you can naturally increase your testosterone? And this will impact your life greatly. All right? If you've never thought about detoxing or the toxins in our environment or in your body, I want you to think again. I want you to focus in on this. I want you to understand it's not hard to detox. It's not hard to avoid chemicals. It's kind of a process of learning what toxifies you so that you can get it out. But I want you to understand it affects your liver. It can impact your hormones and your testosterone. You can start becoming a woman. You can start getting more estrogen, just having a fat face, gynecomastia. You start getting like man boobs. You start feeling more submissive and shy, more passivity, more passive aggressiveness, just from being toxic. I mean, if you never thought about water quality, if you never thought about food quality, or the chemicals that you're putting into your body through your personal care products, I want you to think again. This could be the reason you're depressed. It could be the reason why you can't sleep, why you have sexual dysfunction, why you're getting sick, why you just feel weak and lethargic. So I have a lot of information on that coming up. Mental and social stress. So that can impact your testosterone, that can impact your sleep, your digestion, that can impact your immunity and your sexual health. So I'm going to have a lot of information too on how to decrease your stress and your social stress too. There's a lot of things that you can eat. Talking about adaptogens, talking about probiotics, talking about different habits that you can do to decrease the cortisol in your body. Talking about meditation, spa modalities, even just going out into nature. We're really disconnected from that, aren't we? It's unfortunate. So yeah, you don't want to be in this constant, vortex of self-attack. Sometimes you don't even need help from other people. Sometimes you just have low self-esteem and low self-efficacy, which means you don't think you have the ability to accomplish stuff. And then you start self-attacking and everything stresses you out. You don't have the energy to think that you can do things in life. And so your body starts creating stress hormones instead of anabolic pro hormones that will make you feel great. Instead, you're making these hormones that make you feel fatigued and constantly like you're fighting, like life is a fight, like you're at the effect. It's no bueno. So we can talk about that. We will talk about that. Lack of sleep. If you're not getting 7 hours of sleep consistently, I want you to examine that part of your life and realize its correlation to all of these other systems and your feeling of well-being. Science is clear on this. I mean, even if you're getting away with 4 hours of sleep, doesn't mean that you always will. It doesn't mean that you can be better. Because sleep impacts your testosterone levels, your growth hormone levels, your cortisol levels, your digestion even. We have science here showing that scientists are led to believe that if you have sleep deprivation, then it can lead to obesity. Long story short, it affects a lot of things. You're building a lot of your cells when you're sleeping, which means your immune system is going to be stronger, which, by the way, is really important. Who'd have thunk not getting cancer is important? Not being sick and getting demolished by viruses is kind of important. So we have to sleep. It's related to testosterone. It's related to your feelings of mental stress, even your self-esteem. So yeah, get your sleep. I mean, simple, but just gotta stress it for you. Digestion. Yeah, I've dealt with this personally. If you can't digest food, you just feel lethargic, grumpy, and weak. It's not fun when you don't feel strong or good energy. You kind of just feel like really heavy and tired and lethargic. So you could actually be a good deal depressed or like feel like you have low self-esteem just because you're not able to digest food and you're not putting the two together. I want to let that land. If you're not able to digest food and feel good after eating, think of all I mean, you eat a lot, don't you? And every time you eat, if you're eating the wrong stuff and you're not able to digest it, yeah, it could be causing your depression. It could be causing your lack of energy. It could be causing your lack of passion in life. Like you feel like you don't have the focus. It could be causing your brain fog. Think about that. Lack of accomplishment in guys. You just feel like you can't accomplish. You don't feel powerful. That's why you could feel unmotivated and depressed. Low self-esteem. I mean, you have to have all these things on point. It just makes sense. Let's talk about malnourishment. If you have micronutrient deficiencies, like vitamins that you don't have, we're talking about like B vitamins, niacin, B6, B9, magnesium, iodine for your thyroid. We're talking about boron and iron. All these things have a profound impact on your testosterone. If you have low testosterone, you're pretty much screwed as a guy. You just are. So it also impacts your brain, your ability to create hormones. And did you know that 50 to 95% of guys are deficient in at least 10 minerals that play critical roles in your hormonal health? So it's not that hard to take a comprehensive micronutrient, a multivitamin, I mean. And just eating a balanced diet. Like a lot of guys are doing these weird things like 5 grams of carbs a day, 20 grams of carbs a day, ketosis, like no fats, like only meat diets. Like, man, that's weird. Like you're meant to eat a balance of all these things, realize. And there's so much science showing that if you decrease your carbs too much, you're going to be killing your endocrine system. Same thing with calorie restriction. Same thing if you don't get enough fats. There's a lot of information on this channel. I love studying food. You're going to know all about carbs, fats, and proteins, the wrong kinds, the right kinds, the implications on testosterone. So just realize it could be as simple as getting the right micronutrients. I mean, there's doctors who have used micronutrient prescriptions to cure mental disorders and psychoses. So this isn't like some bunny fluff. This is science. This is like can actually impact your brain, your ability to concentrate. So let's talk about your gut flora. You got trillions of these guys living in your large intestine, and they communicate with your brain. We call it the second brain. So it creates hormones, and it's your biggest endocrine organ in your body, right? It's your gut. Pretty crazy, right? So it also creates neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin, GABA, and can also create stress hormones like cortisol. These are heavy hitters. Like if you know even a little bit about science, those are heavy hitters. Just know that if you have toxicity or if you're eating a lot of processed foods, you have an unhealthy gut. You want to start nourishing the good bacteria in your gut, and they'll naturally fight down the army of bad bacteria. It's really cool. So we're talking about eating the right kinds of yogurt, the right kinds of fermented foods, the right kind of antibacterial agents, like in a lot of these Indian herbs like curcumin and cumin. There's all kinds of chemicals that naturally suppress bad bacteria, which will increase your mental health and your energy. And the rabbit hole goes really deep when it comes to probiotics. We're talking about we can change your cravings. We can change what you subconsciously desire, from food to people to environments, because every one of those things has its own microscopic invisible world of bacteria. And guess what? Those bacteria are inside you, and they influence through your brain and the connections we just talked about what you want, what you're okay with. It explains a lot of why certain people crave different foods, crave different people, crave different environments, have different levels of cleanliness standards. We talk about like a gut feeling, and your intuition also impacts that. It's like kind of the core of what you're drawn to. There's a lot of interesting science there. That's really fascinating. I mean, you take an obese person and give him a healthy gut flora through a fecal transplant, and basically you change what he subconsciously craves and what he eats without even any dietary intervention. He becomes non-obese. And you can kill bad bacteria that even the most powerful antibiotics can't kill through a fecal transplant, giving somebody with unhealthy microbiome a healthy microbiome from a healthy person. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. Talking about your immune system, yeah, half the people in America are getting cancer. Kind of matters, don't you think? Let alone, being sick. It's not like a on and off switch. You can feel quarter sick, you can feel half sick, you can feel full on sick. But for all we know, I do know, a lot of people are walking around, and I felt like this, feeling half sick all the time. You just don't feel strong. Your energy's low. So you have to live a lifestyle that gives you a powerful immune system. A lot of this comes down to probiotics. But, yeah, if you're not sleeping right, you think that has an impact on your immune system? What about malnourishment? You think that impacts your immune system? Stress definitely impacts your immune system. So we gotta focus on it. Yeah, it impacts your brain. That's what number 2 is talking about. Talking about sexual health. So when all of the other systems are in the proper place, then your sexual health will flower. And when your sexual health is flowering, quite likely all the social ingredients that you need to thrive are going to be flowering too. We're talking about positive emotions, risk-taking behavior, high levels of dopamine. People are going to feel what you feel. So when you feel good, you're just going to attract more people to you. It gives you social success, mating success, energetic success. You're not feeling as much anxiety. And so you're able to think better because your cortisol levels are low. Your testosterone levels are high. Your feelings of social aggressiveness, assertiveness, and domination is high. Dopamine means more motivation to socialize. The right probiotics means you're going to have less inclinations towards being isolated and lonely, more inclinations towards being social. Isn't that interesting? Sexual health, 14% of people are infertile when they're supposed to be fertile in that age range. That's really sad. We have big problems in our community. We have a lot of traps. We have a lot of horrible food out there that's killing people. We have a lot of toxins out there that are killing people. It's really easy to slip into a trap nowadays, and I've been inside probably every single one of them. And it's also easy to get out too, as long as you have the right education and the drive. And small, simple steps. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. So what I want to do is bring you hours and hours of research. Simple things that you can do to improve all these systems in your body. I want to make it as fun as possible. Probably going to be throwing a lot of animation on top of these, making them quick and pithy and high value, high bang for your buck, practical stuff that you can do. Stuff that I've already done. I put it to the test. Fun challenges. We're gonna make this easy for you to buy the right cheap herbs, affordable herbs. A lot of these things you don't even know. You can spend $2 a month on these life-changing herbs like ginseng and ashwagandha. Like, you think that they're expensive, they're really not. And I'll bring that all to you so that you can educate yourself, raise your health in all these areas, and you will finally feel like yourself again. You'll finally overcome your depression, your anxiety. You'll finally overcome your lack of motivation. You'll break through your feelings of weakness and depression and feel fun. Feel like life is easy. Life shouldn't feel like a grind. This stuff isn't really as hard as it seems. It's just when you're in it, it's horrible. So that's all I have for you today. My name is Jonathan. I want to empower as many people as I can to feel as good as they can. This is simple health information, focusing on mental health and testosterone optimization. But we're talking about all of these different systems so that we can create a new man inside you, a new health culture so that you and your kids can be healthier, and avoid a lot of sickness, pain. I don't want to see people old and on prescription medications. I don't get them better. I want to see people who are happy, healthy, productive, energetic, giggly, laughing, bubbly, strong, muscular, lean, and beautiful. And that's a world that I want to live in. That's the world that I have given myself, thanks to all these people that have written these awesome books, done all this awesome research, the people that grow all these awesome foods. So I bow to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for helping me get out of my pit of despair, my depression, my weakness. Thanks for giving me back my life, my hormones, my manhood. And I want to be part of this movement. I am part of this movement, and so are you if you're following this channel. If you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out. And subscribe. Keep on following this information. It's good information. I promise you. I promise you, you will change your life. Just do some of the things. Just do some of the things, and you'll feel extreme differences in your life. And you can share that with everybody that you want. Do as little or as much of it as you want. Be as crazy or uninterested. But thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.